Yo guys, Ollie Tight, and today we are back with another Premier League predictions video. It has started. To be honest, it's only been 2 days since the season ended. I'm recording this Tuesday, the 30th of May. But, obviously, we know what the Premier League looks like now. Looks like that. And, yeah, I'm going to be making my pre-transfer window predictions. Obviously, I'm going to do a post-transfer window one as well. Probably like a couple of days after the transfer window ends. And see what changes from this, depending on the signings the teams have made. But this is purely based on how the season has went for the team and how I think it will continue into the next season. So I've got a list here. In 20th place, it's Luton, isn't it? Like, realistically, it is Luton. They're going to challenge Derby for the lowest points total ever in the league. Like, they do not play attractive football. They are just not a great team to watch. People only like them because, look at the stadium, funny stadium, through people's back garden. Once Big Six fans that watch no other football apart from the Premier League, once they realise what Luton Town are actually about, they're going to be wishing for their relegation as now and just, look, funny stadium. This is what Luton Stadium will look like. This is 90 minutes away from being a Premier League stadium. It would be insane seeing this in the Premier League. Or, Pelly Rudicompanzu has become the first player to go from the National League to the Premier League with one team. How crazy is that? Shut up! So yeah, Luton 20th. 19th place, I'm going to go with Nottingham Forest, honestly. So they've got a few players going back from loan, haven't they? Obviously, I know they will replace these players, but obviously I don't know who with or, how. So this is purely based on the squad they will have now. Yeah, I think like Renan Loddy's obviously going back. Keylor Navas won't stay, surely. Yeah, Morgan Gibbs-White and Awoniyi, they've been good last season, but yeah, I don't think it'll be enough to save Nottingham Forest. And in 18th, I think I'm going to go with Sheffield United, to be honest. Actually, that might be a bit harsh, Honestly, I think I'm being harsh on Sheffield United there, but I don't know. See, they've got some cracking players. Obviously, they've got Illiman and Jai. That's about it, actually. They've got like a solid, team. Obviously they've got players like Ollie Norwood. Obviously, I think they've still got like John Egan and Ahmed Hodzic. I wouldn't forget about Ahmed Hodzic. Yeah, they have some good players and like a decent core. It's just, and again, obviously they will make good signings, I imagine. But I had to pick a team to go down, didn't I? In 17th, I went with Everton. I do want them to go down. I don't know why. I just don't like Everton. Sorry, Everton fans. I just have an agenda against you. I have no reason why. I just don't like Everton for some reason, but I mean, obviously, I could do this. I would prefer that, honestly, maybe. I don't know. But I think they're going to, survive in the final day again. They're going to, survive relegation for, the third season in a row. It's going to be really annoying, but, yeah. Literally, I've just recorded my video reacting to last season's Premier League predictions. And I had to go at myself because I was taking a mid-video drink break, and I've just done it again. Apologies. 16th, I have went with Wolverhampton Wanderers. See, I want them to stay up because they have Adama Traore, who apparently might be leaving this summer. Come home, Adama, please. But yeah, I think they didn't have. I think Lopetegui's a good manager. Apparently, might be leaving. But I just don't think Wolves have the resources to challenge for anything next season. I think they will probably comfortably stay up, maybe, but I don't know. I feel like they'll do worse next season compared to this season. And 15th, I have Bournemouth. It's funny actually because I've already seen quite a few Premier League predictions for next season. Everyone has Bournemouth going down. Obviously, Bournemouth did the thing on Twitter where it was before last season, well, current season, but last season, everyone's saying, Bournemouth are going to go down. And they had a video saying, look who's laughing now, sort of thing. And it's I see people saying Gary O'Neill. Is it Gary or Martin O'Neill? I don't know. Who cares? I think it's Gary O'Neill. Yeah, Gary O'Neill, manager of the year. But the same people saying Bournemouth will go down next year. So it's like, well, back up your mind. We obviously, again, another ex-Middlesbrough player, Marcus Tavernier, has been good this season, but obviously been injured for a bit of it as well. So if he gets going next season, he will keep Bournemouth up comfortably. In 14th, I have went with Crystal Palace. They're just a bit mid, aren't they? Like, I don't mind them. Like they have done well under Roy Hodgson, but I don't think he's staying. I don't think the next manager who comes in, whoever it might be, will be able to keep up the momentum Hodgson has going. I don't think they'll be in any threat of relegation. Although to be fair, like no one thought Leicester were in threat of relegation at the start of the season, and look what that's happened. To be honest, I can actually say Palace getting relegated. Like I started watching football in 2014. So for me, Palace have always been a Premier League team. I think they got promoted that season. I think they got promoted like 2012-13. So their first season was 13-14, which obviously was the season I started watching. So like for me, Palace have always been a Premier League team. But I don't know, I can sort of see them going down next season. I don't know. But if they can keep sort of the momentum Roy Hodgson has had them in, or if he stays, yeah, I think it'll be alright. 13th place, I went with Fulham. I don't think they're in danger of relegation. I just think they'll have a bit of a drop off compared to the season. Where did they finish the season? Like 9th, 10th? Which obviously they overachieved, I think. Especially my Premier League predictions video, I had them going down. I'm not listening to anything. But yeah, I think Fulham overachieved last season. Considering Mitrovic went, he was like banging them in for like first half of the season, but he sort of went missing second half, didn't he? Or was that just because he was banned from the FA Cup game? I don't know. But yeah, that is my lower mid-table. In 12th place, I have Burnley. Again, it's sort of a case like the same as Luton sort of thing, where say the big six fans who only exclusively watch the Premier League will think, Burnley coming back up again, it's going to be Dyche ball and long balls and big strikers who will go down again. They just don't know what Burnley are about. Burnley probably one of the most exciting teams in the Premier League next season with the way they're playing. Obviously, you had a lot of players on loan last season who obviously they will need a fight to keep. Nathan Tella, I think they are exploring the possibility of signing him. To be fair though, Tella is on loan from Southampton, who obviously have been relegated, so Southampton might want to keep Tella to try and come up from the Championship next season. You see quite a few loan players, they've got Anna Sowery. I think they're looking in at bringing Divock Origi for a striker, so obviously I don't think they're going to keep Weghorst, to be honest, and Lyle Taylor I wouldn't exactly say is a Premier League starting striker. But to be honest, I think if Burnley can keep at least some of the loan players we've had this season, then obviously add to the squad with a Premier League budget, I think they will do quite well. Again, this is, who knows, they might go down, they might do a Brighton and get Europa League, who knows. But Visa Burnley Kids Poland Mazzara Designs. In 11th place, I have West Ham. To be honest, I think this is entirely dependent on the result of the Conference League final. I said this in my last video. I do want West Ham to win because English team. I'd want an English team to win, unless it was Sunderland or Leeds. But apart from that, I'd want an English team to win the final. Also, apart from Man City as well, I want Inter to win the final. That'd be funny. Yeah, most occasions I'd want an English team to win the final. But I think if West Ham don't win the final, then obviously they don't have any European football to focus on next season. And I think they can sort of get themselves out of the rut and, sort of climb back to, the top half of the table where they've been in the last few years. But obviously if they win the final, I don't know if they go into Europa League qualifiers or straight into Europa League group stages. Which obviously will be good for the club because, Europa League's, bigger than the Conference League, but... then again, obviously, it is a bigger challenge. So West Ham might just get grouped in the Europa League if they do win the Conference League final, which obviously then allows them to focus on the league more. So yeah, I think West Ham will sort of get themselves out of the rut they're in this season. 10th, I have Brentford. To be honest, they could finish low without Tony, but as we saw in the last few games without him, they were fine. Like they beat Tottenham 4-1, didn't they? Yeah, and obviously Tony wasn't playing that one. I think like was it Mbuemo or Vissa scored twice there. Obviously beat Man City on the final day without Tony. I know that was like a nothing game for both clubs, but still, obviously I imagine they will bring in a proper striker in the summer, to replace Tony. Even just like a 6-month loan will be fine because I think Tony can resume training from September, but he can play games again from January, which obviously a 6-month loan would take him up to January. So a 6-month loan for like a proper, like a proven striker, like maybe even a Weghorst. I don't know. Obviously, I don't think Weghorst probably suit Brentford style. I don't know, but like a proven striker on loan for 6 months at Brentford could help them. Obviously, I have like I said, this video is pre-transfer window. No clue what's going to happen. Yeah, 6-month loan for a proven striker replace Tony could solidify Brentford. Ninth, I have Brighton. I think ninth goes there. I think they'll obviously have a bit of a drop off. They finished 6th this season, or last season, whatever you want to say. And obviously qualified for Europe. It's partly I think they've overachieved last season, and also partly European games to worry about, so they will drop off a bit in the league. But I still think they'll finish top half. Yeah. 8th, I have Aston Villa. I think their squad's stronger enough to have less of a drop off, both with compared to last season and European football compared to Brighton. I think they'll. So, yeah, I think I'll have less of a drop off than Brighton with those two factors. I like Villa. Yeah, Unai Emery is obviously a brilliant coach with what he's doing at Villa. I see if he can carry it on the next season. I still think they can probably get any higher. They might get a Europa League spot. Obviously, I don't think Aston Villa are going to get Champions League. You're welcome to surprise me. Please go for it. But yeah, I think 8th, 7th, 6th sort of where they'll be. 7th, I have Spurs, small club. Yeah, there's just no names being considered for manager right now. See, Chelsea have appointed Pochettino. At least they're acting sort of fast. Tottenham just haven't done anything. They're just sort of dormant. Harry Kane linked with a few clubs as well. He's been offered to Real Madrid today. See, Man United want him. I think he's been offered by Munich as well. Yeah, he has to leave Tottenham if he wants to do something with his career. Speaking of career, Son Heung-min's still gonna be. Enjoy that. That was a good one. Son Heung-min's still gonna be at Tottenham. It'd be funny if he left as well, and the Tottenham were just left with nothing. But yeah, apparently they're looking at like Nagelsmann or whatever, but like nothing's set in stone. But yeah, who cares? 6th, I have Chelsea. I think obviously they'll do better next season. I mean, for Chelsea to do worse than last season would be absolute. I'd expect them to win the league more next season than to do worse than last season. Yeah, obviously they're bringing in Pochettino in. I think he will get some of the signings kicking in, like Enzo Fernandez, Mudryk, Andres Santos. I don't know. I think they'll do better under Pochettino next season. It has been confirmed, I think. But the thing is, would 6th place be a success for Chelsea next season? If compared to this season, yes, it is. They went up 6 places in the league, qualified for Europe. But then again, if Pochettino has got them playing good football with good signings, maybe 6th might be a failure. But I'd think, yeah, Chelsea fans should be happy with 6th next season. I mean, with Pochettino, it's going to be a rebuild, isn't it? So I think, trust the process, be happy with 6th, aim for Champions League next season. In 5th, I have Newcastle. I think, again, sort of European football drop off. I think they're going to sort of take the foot off the gas in the league, maybe. And again, I think Newcastle should be happy with 5th. Considering they've only just qualified for the Champions League this season for the first time in 20 years. So it's not you've qualified for the first time in 20 years. Don't expect to be there every year now. You know, so I think they should be happy with 5th. And honestly, I think genuinely, Newcastle finish 5th next season, then go on a Europa League run season after, and they'll get the semi-finals or whatever. Just go for it. Well, yeah, I think they will do slightly worse compared to the season, but I think the Europa League is good for them. 4th, I have Arsenal. Yeah, I do think obviously, I think it'll be hard to match what they've done last season. I think the players will just be exhausted, downbeat after the sort of not bottling it, but obviously no one expected them to sort of get second, even win the league last season. But so I wouldn't really say they bottled it, but sort of just coming too short, I think. So I think there will be sort of downbeat about that. Obviously, coming all that way for nothing. Which is not really for nothing. They did the Champions League for the first time in 3-4 years. But yeah, I still think obviously they will have money to spend on signings. I just don't think they'll do as well as this season. In 3rd place, I have Manchester United. And I do want United to do well. I think Erik ten Hag is the right manager. I like the squad they have. I think Rashford will keep his form going next season. Maybe I say form. I think he scored 2 goals in 4 months. But obviously the form before that. But yeah, I just think no matter how much they improve, I just think the top 2 will always be sort of out of reach, and it entirely does depend on if they bring Mason Greenwood back. I think if they do, honestly, just liquidate the club. He should not be anywhere near a football pitch ever again. Just ship him off to Zimbabwe, let him play Sunday League there. In fact, it's probably Thursday League over there. But yeah, if they bring him back, God help us all. But if they don't, all power to them. I hope they do well. But I mean, with the 2 teams left, and obviously compared to last season, you can probably tell where this is going. You're going to have Man City, and we're going to have Liverpool. Yeah, I think Liverpool will do far better than this season. I think they'll get back up to second, back up to where they belong. Obviously, Gakpo has been brilliant sort of back end of the season. Well, I say back end of the season, obviously he was only brought in January, so he can't have been good, start of the season. But yeah, 37 million, quite a good sign, and obviously he was playing better at PSV, slow start in Liverpool, but I think obviously Salah is Salah, the 7-season wonder or whatever. Yeah, this will be Salah's 7th season in England, won't it? Not in England, but for Liverpool. He signed 17-18, right? Yeah, or maybe 6th. I don't know. Yeah, obviously Salah will be, brilliant for Liverpool. Obviously, I think it's pretty much agreed with McAllister now. To be honest, I don't think he will be, out of this world, outstanding sort of, like KDB level. I think he'll be sort of the same sort of signing as Thiago. I think it'll be good, which sort of, not lighting the world alight, Obviously, there's still the whole transfer window to go. I think they will bring in a couple more midfielders, maybe. I mean, the defence is solid enough. Van Dijk, Konate, solid centre-back duo. Alisson, one of, if not the best goalie in the league. Trent and Robertson, obviously Trent sort of discovering a new role sort of this season, which is obviously seeing him improve. Yeah, Gakpo, Salah and Nunez, Jota sort of interchanging. It's just the midfield from Liverpool, I think. Yeah, Fabinho's not bad. I think he's just, not great either. Obviously Henderson's not been great in Liverpool shirt this season. Thiago's always injured. Obviously Bellingham off to Real Madrid. Obviously, it's tough. Again, I think in Liverpool it's entirely dependent on how the transfer window goes. But yeah, I think they will get back up to second, sort of where the form, sort of where they've been the few years before this season. Obviously, Man City in first is really boring, and I really don't want them to win the league. So I was rooting for Arsenal this season, but you just can't argue. Genuinely, they could not make a single signing, and they would probably still win the league next year. Obviously, Haaland. I mean, there's the thing about Haaland's release clause means he can join Real Madrid for 60 million next year or something. I don't know. He will tear up the league next season, Who did Man City even buy? Do they even need a left back? Because obviously they got Ake playing there. They've got Rico Lewis as backup. They've got Walker and that at right back. It's just daft with Man City, isn't it? It's just daft. Yeah, obviously they'll win the league by like 10, 12 points or something. I don't know. But that is my Premier League predictions for 22-23. Pre-transfer window Premier League predictions for 22-23. So let me know down below your outrageous prediction for this season. And obviously I will sort of update this when the transfer window is done. It'll be like early September, I think, which is stuff like 3 or 4 months away. But yeah, I'll come back to this, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.